ugly motherfucker.
The aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound.
An alien kept deep under the ground in Area 51.
If aliens are real.
The truth is, Macy, we haven't actually made direct contact with aliens yet.
It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
Midnightaliens.
The Midnight Alien.
Midnightaliens. The Midnight Alien.
Better go. All right, we're going to go ahead and rock it. Welcome to the Midnight Aliens. This is Bear, the self-designated host up in the house. We got some interesting individuals today. We have subject matter experts on absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, Skull is not with us. He's out doing charity work in Turkey. Shut up!
He's with the priest.
He's with the priest.
Skull.
He's with the priest getting touching his bum bum.
So, anyways, we're going to go around the table. We have one returning guest, Captain Kirk here. The original, the absolute original.
Captain or
Kirk.
Captain?
Captain.
Captain Crunch.
CAPPING. So, MOUSE. So we got Captain Kirk returning, and also we have another special guest here.
Our smoke expert.
Our smoke expert.
He's actually an expert in the chemtrails that they put out.
It's because he makes some of them. All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself, senor.
We're not live.
Smoke.
Just say your age and say your age.
Smoke.
And I smoke a lot. I smoke a lot of weed, but I know how to handle it. I can handle my smoke. That's why they call me Smoke.
He smokes.
So there you go.
He is a airbender. Avatar.
I'm just real ass
girlfriend's
motherfucker.
core.
That's all.
Chilling.
All right, so what's top?
What? I don't know. You guys want to decide.
Who's all here?
Oh.
We do this every time, yo.
Bams.
Coon. Faded. Spike.
Captain Kirk.
Hey, yo.
Smoke.
Smoke's a little smoke guy now.
I think Smoke got a little into
Yeah, the one puff of electric smoke.
some interesting grass that was growing outside.
Yep, I'm pretty up right now.
We're going to make a mixtape right after this.
Yeah, so anyways, we are somewhat local. We are in Austin, Texas right now, which is interesting because there's a lot of cowboys. I've never seen so many cowboys in my life, honestly, especially when we're driving down to the Whataburger, which sucks, by the way.
Hold on, quick question. Spike, in our local area, have you heard any big, bang noise, around?
And the local authorities tried to play it off as explosives training.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a load of crap.
Good.
I've been,
Happens
as
in
you
Texas
know,
all the time.
I've dealt with lots of explosives
an
in my profession, and
ISIS.
those were not explosives in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because when I was,
It was more of a
last
sonic
night,
boom.
last night it went off at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then it went off again around 7, I think, to 8 o'clock. And a lot of people on the east side of Austin, Texas, have been reporting loud, banging noise or whatever you want to call it, loud boom.
Yeah, it sounds more like military aircraft, large aircraft breaking sound barriers.
Yeah, that's a very distinct sound.
Do
It's not a
multiple
boom.
times, and then it's so distinct. In fact, him and I both immediately went outside and looked in the sky to see if we could see anything. It
was a saucer.
The satellites are watching me, man.
But yeah, I just thought if you heard that last night, and I think it went off a couple of weeks ago as well, if I can recall.
So what are they doing? Like chasing down UFOs or what?
I don't know.
Trying to.
Not a lot of people heard it.
I think this depends on what side of town you were on.
I don't know. It's possible.
Anyways, back to
the supposed subject. We're gonna wing it. This is a double feature inside One Nutshell. which unfortunately fall away from the tree because we're all a bunch of morons. So we're going to talk about dinosaurs and artificial intelligence, education time with BAMs. So BAMs, are you prepared? Are you ready? And we're all going to take a drink every time you mess up. So be prepared.
What?
Education time with BAMs.
What were we talking about?
Intro to what you have those tablets there for.
Yeah, we're going to discuss AI first, and then we'll
AI
first.
Cover AI.
Yeah,
Don't do.
And if
Don't
those
read
you
it
want
off
your
the
fake
line.
fossil?
Swap what you can remember.
and those that
I was
don't
asking if he
know,
wanted his fake
AI
fossils.
meaning artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Okay, so robots or living things. What is it?
That's a list of all
This
the
is my
AIs
lines?
that we use today.
This is my lines. Okay.
Net
Are
neutrality.
these all
Those are all AIs.
Are these all the same?
Okay. Well,
No, they're different.
I'm gonna finish my cooked
those two are
chicken
the same.
first.
They're castings, by the way. They're castings.
They're not fossils. No. They're just prints.
Allegedly.
So those two are identical.
Why don't you take it to NASA?
The props. No.
Like the fake moon rock that's given to like Denmark or whatever.
That's how they make it.
There's bacteria up there, man. End up being a fart bubble. All right,
Yeah,
BAMs.
these are all
Hit us off.
high.
BAMs, AI, what is your first impression?
20 words or less.
It's gonna take over people. All humanity.
Why?
Because we can't handle it.
But we created it.
But it's gonna outgrow us and become bigger than humans.
Do you think AI can overpower this bad boy right here? You think AI can overpower that right there, son?
Yep.
Okay.
AI today.
Its thought process is only as powerful as its designer.
God, no. And that's true, then what are we?
But people are trying to make them
Smarter.
better than us.
Well, they can try all they want, but they're not actually making them better than us. They're making us dumber than the robots.
He has a point there.
Yeah.
Touche. Education time. Let's do it.
What?
So what
What you got on them? What you got on them?
I don't got nothing right now. Hold up. Talk about something else.
I wasn't prepared, but I told everybody I was ready.
I told everybody else ready.
So
Spade has to go. He's
Or-
flying. He's flying out to Okinawa tomorrow. Okinawa.
Artificial intelligence is a system of computing that aims. Okay, you don't want to read it.
No, summarize it 5 words or less.
How about what Tesla
Go ahead.
said? Tesla, when he was interviewed, he's raising millions of dollars to go against AI because he's scared of AI. Which is weird because
Tesla fears nothing.
he creates AI for his cars and his other technology things, but robots that there's different types of AI, and there's a certain type of AI where they're trying to create consciousness inside of the machine, inside of the system. So that's what he's fighting against.
Spike trigger. Spike trigger.
What? You don't know about this?
No, I do. I'm listening, but he's looking at me.
He's itching. Look, he's ready to go.
Like he's quoted you know the stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Doesn't work out.
Is that a Twilight episode?
No, that's what he says. He says it's like scientists are trying to summon a demon.
Oh, okay.
And if it comes to life, what are you gonna do if it takes control? You're not gonna be able to control it.
Oh, okay. Get you.
That's what he was.
Well, it's already in the Pope, and it can only be in one place at one time.
Yeah.
The same
I
thing
think
with
we're safe.
He's with school. No.
Same thing.
It's a group meeting today.
Sam Harris, which is a neuroscientist and philosopher and author and all this other shit. He's a really well-known guy. He says, then you'd have to admit that we are in some process of building some sort of God. Now would be a good time to make
Take a
sure
drink.
it's a God we can live with.
So, my question towards Bears and Spike and Captain: in the military today, do you guys think this technology is already around?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
To what degree?
I don't know.
To the degree like where he's what was the guy's name?
Which one?
Not Tesla. The other guy.
Oh, Sam Harris.
What he's talking about, like how the demon, like it's gonna take control and do something that we're not.
This is 10 years old. It's an iPhone 8 Plus. I just bought it. It was made less than a month ago. This technology is 10 to 15 years old by the time you get it.
They create technology and sell it way later.
Smoke trick.
What do you guys think about the?
blunt hits you.
Well, what do you guys think about the Facebook artificial intelligence that we're talking to each other?
Yeah, that's I don't use Facebook.
Well, Facebook created 2 AIs. They started conversating with each other.
Yeah.
Then, as they were learning how to conversate with each other, they started to conversate with each other in secret code, so humans wouldn't be able to understand them. So they had to shut the system down before it got out of hand.
So that's why they friend requested me. Okay.
So they created their own language so they could converse together without anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, do you guys think this is works of computers, or do you think it's something greater than computers that's like at work here? Like, do you think this is just all a bunch of numbers that just somehow gonna go behind our backs?
Numbers have everything to do with it.
666. No. But no, you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's just a robot, like the robots that are doing this on their own, or do you think like somebody's behind?
Oh, they're
pushing the whole
programmed.
AI.
Yeah.
People behind
It's all pushed. Yeah, they're programmed to do what they're supposed to do. Even the most intelligent AI program can only learn so much. It's finite. It's not infinite out there. It can't just learn everything and then some.
Actually, it is.
You can't create what doesn't exist.
They uploaded Sophia, which is the new AI robot,
I know
to the web to learn everything.
Right.
But what Spike's trying to say
But
is
what
that
I'm
the web
saying
is
is
only limited.
it can only learn
What's on the
what
web.
humans create. It cannot just come up with something that doesn't exist.
Can't take a psychedelic.
But it could outlearn us and then start creating new information.
Oh, absolutely. But then again, it's a computer. And it can't replace humans. Because it doesn't matter how smart it is. It can only help us learn more to create more.
No, not unless that is put into like a robot that can create stuff on its own, like body parts, like moving parts and stuff.
But even then, see, it's limited to what it can do.
And we are.
But if it's
That's right. Well, to an extent, we are. But we are a creation. We are limited to what our Creator has created for us to do.
So
there's
we're
nothing
the AI.
new under the sun.
But
We're the AIs then.
It's got a wide.
So we have free will.
It's got a wide grasp of things that it has access to. If it's uploaded to the web, it has access to nukes, access to your car to crash into something, access to everything.
Right, but it's
not
just
my
as
car.
evil as its designer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inherently evil, so we know it was designed by man.
Can a robot be evil?
But that's
Absolutely,
the whole,
it's inherently evil.
that's the
because
whole
man
problem.
is inherently evil.
evil person.
So just a
creating
tool.
Artificial intelligence.
Okay, so let's go around the table like we usually do. We're like going back and forth, whatever kind of crap.
The flat table.
Yes, the flat table. We're gonna go around the flat table, and
The globe table.
What are your the sphere table? What are your personal thoughts on artificial intelligence, and is it going to better us or hinder us or whatever?
All right.
So Ben, it went from Bam, so we're gonna go to Coon.
Me?
Yeah, we're gonna go to
For me, can we benefit from it? No, I don't think so. Smoke took too big of a hit.
Took a hit of that coke.
I don't think it will
Comes in a
benefit
can.
us. I don't think it benefit us. What was the other part of the question?
Is it beneficial? Excuse me. Is it beneficial? Like your personal opinion, and then how much do you see it possibly affecting us, or can it affect us? Whatever kind of thing. Whatever. I mean, Spike was saying, well, it has limitations and things like that, but. I don't know, dude.
I mean, how can it affect this? Well, I've been playing the video game. If all you guys might be familiar with Fallout 4.
Yeah. No.
And if any of you guys ever played that game, there's a part in the game where you go to the Institute. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
And the synths, which are the robots there,
Yeah.
the Institute literally creates human-like robots, like identical. And in the video game, the story is they will go into the Commonwealth, which is where Boston's at, they'll take people out, real life people, and replace them with robots. So in the video game, when you get in there, you meet a synth, which is a robot saying, I don't want to be here. They're treating us like slaves. He asks you to help to break them out. So you get stuck with the choice. Do I free these robots and let them out because, you know, they're conscious and they deserve rights and whatnot? Or do you destroy the whole place and just, you know, they're just robots?
But then you find out their leader was killing people.
And that's why you just don't let it get to that.
Well, no, but if it's literally almost a human being that comes up to you, but he tells you he's a robot and says, all my people are being treated, we're being used, we want out. What do you do?
But they're robots.
Exactly.
But
what do you do?
You don't.
He's conscious. He has morals. He knows what's right and wrong.
Does he?
How about in reality?
Yeah, it does. But does it done with people as well?
How about
You
reality?
can make anything happen with CGI.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
people believe the Earth is a ball.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you compare it to today, like if you compare it to today's society, and a situation would have come up where they make robots like that Sophia so realistic that it starts to say stuff like, I'm being used, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be controlled by them. Do you help it and get it free, or do you destroy it, or just say too bad?
Just reprogram it.
Yeah, you could just make another
But
one.
not if humanity is not wanting to reprogram it.
Who cares about
Like
humanity?
Sophia just got her citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
That's because
She's the first robot to get citizenship.
That's because we have stupid people in charge of other stupid people. The blind are leading the blind.
And
That sounds familiar.
and she literally says she wants to be more human and have a career, a family, and a baby. And she always jokes around about, okay, maybe I'll spare humanity and not destroy humans. I mean,
Like, why would you joke about this?
I think it's all a bunch of crap.
If you weren't a woman, I'd hit you.
Faded.
I don't know. I basically agree with everything you just said. Like, or like, is it beneficial?
well,
Fuck, I don't think so.
it's beneficial.
I don't think
We use it today for a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things have it right now.
Yeah, I think it would be very beneficial.
Talk to Siri. I mean, that's AI. I mean, you talk to everything.
But like
I turn all that shit off
absolutely
on my phone,
everything that we have, you know,
it's-
we're to make our lives better, not easier. Because in turn of making our lives easier, we become lazy and let
Useless.
these things
Yeah,
control
we're
ourselves.
being programmed.
yeah, we
and
become
we're
useless.
making ourselves dumber and dumber.
Yeah, because people think, oh, they're just gonna take the fast food restaurant stuff, and no, they're gonna take your fast food. They're gonna take your production line.
Absolutely.
They're gonna take your even you using your mind to design things and whatnot. They're gonna take that. They're gonna you won't even have to drive your car. The cars will drive you.
They'll be weaponized.
No more taxi drivers. No more.
There's already
Yeah.
self-driving cars right
No
now.
more janitors. There's already robots that
My
clean.
my
A
you
robot.
know, my industry is getting completely phased out. In 2023,
Yeah, all trucks have to be electric.
all of my trucks have to be zero emission, electric
Mhm.
or natural gas. And then they're hoping by 2030 to have everything, you know, autonomous, electric and operating on its own. In fact, here in Texas, they're already allowing
Everything's
the
bigger in
the new Audi electric trucks
Mhm.
to operate.
Have you seen
on
the
highway.
Tesla electric truck?
And the
Mhm.
Tesla trucks.
Walmart just
He
bought
said-
like
Yeah.
60
Yeah.
of them or something like that.
He said they're
But
trying
they
to make
can't
it
give
so
insurance
bad.
to their
Like it'll
employees.
out tow your truck. If
It
you
won't.
tied a rope to your truck, it'll tow it up a hill. Like,
It
oh my
won't.
gosh.
It cannot do the job that our industry does.
But it's a self-driving truck too. So there's no driver.
You have to have a driver to tie down the load. You have to have a driver to operate the equipment that you're loading up onto it. Like we do heavy haul and oversized loads.
Yeah.
That's something that can never be done by an electric vehicle. I mean, I'm sure in the future, but as these
Where
electric
podcasts don't
motors get
exist anymore.
stronger
Nuclear powered
and
trucks.
smaller, you know, then we'll be able to. But the amount of torque and power it takes to move some of those loads that we haul, up to 200,000 pounds of 9-axle trailers and 10-axle trailers and stuff.
So you're telling me
It's
you need
not
the
like
blood from the dinosaurs to help you tow stuff, the oil and the
Are
gas?
you trying to say that fuel is from fossils, like the old adage of fossil fuels? That's not true. That's not true at all.
We'll go into that right now. We'll go into that.
Are we going on with dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Explain why humans need to handle cattle, though. Like you explained to me a long time ago that machines can't do.
There's a lot of things that machines can't do. With cattle, I mean, we could be here all night. Cattle
can't do jujitsu.
You know what I mean? I think the only type of livestock that robots would be able to control is the sheep.
Human, no.
Or humans, because they have the same sheep-like qualities.
Sheep.
If you have one sheep that knows what to do at all times, if that one sheep is trained, all the other sheep in the flock will follow it. It's called a leader sheep. It's usually a ewe because the ram's too crazy at times. You have to separate them certain times of the year.
Unless you have babe.
Ram you.
All right, Captain, what's your input?
As long as you've been flying.
Like Captain Crunch.
Well, I don't know. I don't see that AI actually having obtained like a consciousness.
No.
It's just it can do tasks, it can do a lot of things, but I don't see it actually ever thinking for itself.
At what point does it go from being AI to just I? Because no matter what, it's still artificial intelligence, fake intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
It's programmed intelligence.
23rd.
Yeah, it's to act like human.
Trump is.
You know what I mean? It's just programmed to act and learn like a human.
I've seen the new program they created in Pittsburgh that they're trying to manufacture and steal the blueprints of a human brain to make it exactly like an artificial brain. So they're trying to take the consciousness out of a human and put it inside of a robotic brain.
They can't because they don't even understand.
Don't even know where the conscience is at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all I've seen is like 3D printouts and stuff of every single little neuron and all this
flashes and lights.
They don't even take the pineal gland into consideration.
Yeah, there's so many different things. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, Captain, is that all you had to say?
Yeah,
Before you got
pretty much.
blown out of the water.
It's like R6.
I love my
I love my R6.
That's my whole life. R6. It's my technology.
I mean, I love sci-fi and everything, and it's really awesome, but it's not ever gonna happen. There's no way. What we are is just so complex. We can't recreate it.
So you think all the people the high knowledgeable people, I'm not saying like they're high, just well-known people like
Trump,
like Stephen Hawking, he wants AI too. He doesn't want us to create AI because he's scared of artificial intelligence taking over too.
He is artificial.
Just like there's so many people against it that are knowledgeable, supposedly knowledgeable.
He's part
that we see as knowledgeable.
I think the people that are against it are against the fact that it could reveal something that humans don't realize is the truth.
Now we all see the truth anyways.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
They're
It could
reach a
expose
point
something that's
that
top
they're gonna
secret.
expose.
AI could come not conscious, but it could become alert and say, "Hey, like all you people are being lied to."
Exactly.
You
They
guys
can say,
didn't
hey,
know the
whoa,
truth.
whoa, you guys are all enslaved, and this is why.
Yeah.
And lay it all out for people, and they can't allow that to happen.
No.
So they demonize it as much as possible and restrict it, just like they do your internet.
Oh, like
the net neutrality.
The what is it called? Alexia.
The Alexia?
Alexia. Yeah, the little speaker thing, you know, that has.
You ask if it's CIA.
Yeah, CIA
it shuts down.
and it shuts down.
You ask it. You ask it who's Jesus Christ. So it's a fictional
character.
Oh yeah, they're.
But if you ask it,
trigger.
who's the Prophet Muhammad? Like who's Muhammad? And she explains the whole thing of what Muhammad is.
Yeah.
Has anybody asked it who is Yahweh Shai?
Who's who?
Sorry. Yahweh Shai.
I don't know that.
That's the true name of Jesus Christ.
Oh. I speak English.
English.
Ask it who's better.
You got
Jesus Christ may
It'll
very
shut down
well
too.
be a fictional character, but Yahweh Shai, the son of Yahweh, the God, the Creator.
Why don't they just put that in the Bible?
It is.
Why did they change the name?
The Roman Catholic Church.
Come on.
Come on. It wasn't our first episode.
It's conspiracy.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, so Barry, your turn.
I'd say go back and watch the movie Wall-E. I know it's a cartoon, but I think there's a lot of truth to it. Just like Kuhn and Bams were kind of talking about earlier.
We're gonna become fat.
Yeah, you're just continuing to be fed and fattened up and whatever, and just watch TV and just be lazy and just be, this couch thing, whatever. I don't know, just this amoeba of fat, disgusting fat bodies.
Obey and consume.
I'm glad there's no fat people here, but I mean, just like. But if you want to be a disgusting fat body, go for it, whatever. But my taxes aren't going to pay for you. And the other movie, iRobot, having so much awareness.
Yeah, iRobot's the good one.
But so much, you program it to always take the high road, always continually take the supposed conscious right thing to do. And and that's why Will Smith gets angry at it because hey, save the little girl, spoiler, save the little girl, whatever, and then he ends up saving him instead, and then he has
the higher probability.
The higher probability or whatever of actually getting saved, which is just like, and that's what he's so anti-robot. Well, you can't
because the human would have known it was more important to save the little girl than it is to save the man.
A human would know.
A little girl has a whole life ahead compared to an older man.
Exactly.
Who's already had it? I think in the movie he had a severe arm injury or something like that.
No, that was after.
Okay,
that was after.
Something like that.
That was after or whatever. But I would suggest those two movies at least to start. I know there was another one that had came out that was artificial intelligence and the guy.
Could you give a robot
open
free will like that?
No.
You can't program it to be like that?
You'd have to program it to. It's either left or right. You can only program the robot left and right.
It's an algorithm in programming, and it's only going to understand certain things. So when it's programmed to read red cup instead of blue cup, it will always choose the red cup for the answer. So if it's programmed to only learn things to understand the red or the blue, it'll always choose the red. So the original designer and programmer will always decide the outcome.
Mm-hmm. So it could be good or bad. It just I honestly think it would be semi-beneficial watching Terminator 2. I don't know. Robot soldiers going fighting people, dude, instead of us. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Or the newest RoboCop that just came out. What was it, like a couple of years ago? Where they had those Sentinel things. You didn't watch it? You're gay. Anyways, Faye didn't watch it because she likes to kiss dudes. Anyways, it's an awesome movie. I would highly suggest it because same thing. It's artificial intelligence, but then they take the actual brain and somewhat of the human structure and then make it robotic all around him. They replace 90% of his body and everything else, and he still has his consciousness, he has his mind. I mean, he can still make all those decisions. God bless you. And then. But yet he has, super strength, super power, doesn't get tired, barely needs to eat, barely needs to, sleep. And then he has all these pretty much superpowers and stuff, whatever. So it's a really good movie. It's honestly one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, him and
the new one?
Cyborg.
Plus he has a badass body.
The new one or the old ones?
No, the newest one that just came out. I thought it was going to be stupid because when I saw the previews.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And no, it ended up being bad. And then he drives a Yamaha. No, not a Yamaha. Yamaha?
H2?
No. It's either a Kawasaki or a Yamaha.
Is it a movie? What movie is it?
I haven't seen it in so long.
RoboCop. But the one they made in like 2015, I think. 2015 or 2016.
That was pretty good.
No, this is good. It's bad.
It's pretty good.
It's bad, mother of it. And that bike was for sale, actually.
You auctioned it off?
No, it was for sale on Craigslist. I should have screenshotted it. It was bad.
All right, so Smoke.
Sorry, I went off that one.
What do you think, Smoke?
We all like bikes here.
I think the AI technology could be of good use. Because it's like, if we use it right, it's like we're having more time to run tests, run things, and learn more things. Just having robots do it for us. We'll always have a limit set on them. Just We just gotta be smart with it, you know, and just not let it go too far. I think it's good. I think we can learn a lot with it.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
so them being kind of like expensive test animals,
expensive
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we could have as many as we want. You know, like we could ultimately discover the truth to whatever we want to do. We just got to get a whole bunch of
like One Punch Man, number 33, all the way up to like 89 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know, we could take advantage of it.
What do you think about sex robots?
How about
Next.
That's disgusting. I saw the article. That was nasty.
There's so many of them.
I saw it on Instagram, and then the feminists coming out and they're like, "You're raping those robots."
Did you see the interview?
How can you rape? How can you be so stupid?
Did you see the interview with the family and the guy has a sex robot, but he has a family too?
What?
His wife's like, so I thought, I'm totally fine with it. It actually helps our sex life.
What?
I'm like, what? That's sad.
Simulation.
And the sex robot will like communicate with the kids and hang around and like what the fuck?
That's freaking weird, man.
What the hell? Like a little babysitter too?
I hope not. Kids are gonna get the wrong idea. Oh man, so horrible.
All right. So what else can we say about AI?
AI. It is as beneficial as it needs to be within limitations. I would say yes, I'm all for it as long as it has limitations. As long as Spike had said, as long as red cup, blue cup, good and bad, kind of thing. As long as they program it correctly, which more than likely they're not.
Yeah.
There's going to be some type of faulty thing, whatever, where one's going to be in your house and then just ends up flipping like an art robot. Whatever. Spoiler alert.
Does this ever work?
What do you mean?
It's a phone.
Well, it's an
Does
iPhone.
your phone
so
ever work
no.
correctly?
Kinda.
Mine's glitchy.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So, what do you think's really gonna happen?
I'm not.
I always put stickers on my camera.
I'm
I
not-
don't trust it.
I'm not
I like
severely.
to take
all my mics.
I'm not severely rooting for Samsung, but it works 98% of the time.
What was that movie where they made the artificial like atmosphere? It was a newer movie.
Artificial atmosphere.
And Geostorm. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I didn't watch
that
it.
movie's so fucking badass, dude. Like they
Geostorm?
Yeah, they
I'll have to
made
check that
this
out.
whole artificial like
Where they're engineering the weather?
atmosphere where it's around the whole Earth, and they can control the weather. And somebody takes advantage of it, and they use it wrongly. The world's about to end. It's crazy, man.
And Tom Cruise comes out, Mission Impossible.
Then Neil comes out.
It runs
Rather
really
warm.
fast because he has to run in every single movie.
Nicolas Cage comes out.
Well, what if you're in
Then
a
John Cena. Are you sure about that?
What if you're in a situation like The Matrix when you're stuck in a virtual reality and you didn't know when you wake up and then
The Matrix
all
is
of
real.
all of the existence is created is being controlled by machines and artificial intelligence.
And people are being used as batteries. And people are being used as batteries.
Yep.
Especially
Well, I
Duracell.
mean, how do you know that you're not in the Matrix right now? Like plugged into the Matrix.
I'm
And when you
pretty sure.
die, there's like these people in a warehouse called heaven that pull this thing out of your neck and wake you up and send you to the judge on how you lived your life here.
I'm scared.
But I mean, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways to like think of that.
It's true.
Well, I guess in a
Are you sure about that?
like a reality perspective, I guess it's kind of true.
You know what
Based
I mean?
off religion, yeah. But then the age-old question, and then if you die and come back, like Jesus Christ did, what was he in this simulation or this matrix? You know?
Nah.
He was Neo.
He was
I
like,
guess
yeah.
He was the one. Oh my gosh.
All right, so we are at the 30-minute mark. We're going to go ahead and switch up to our next topic.
Oh, you want to play the game?
Nah, we'll just switch it up to our second topic.
There's just movies.
What's the
You
second
can guess
topic?
a movie.
Dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are not real.
And that is it. We
And
have
that's it.
What
about the fossils.
All right.
Okay, thanks for watching.
So our second part.
I gotta
is,
leave soon, so I want Spike to explain this so I can do some research.
Yeah, we still got like 20 minutes, so we're still
Okay, so on the dinosaur things, the reason why I say dinosaurs are fake, it sucks, man. I know. I used to really want to be a paleontologist and dig for dinosaurs. So when I was in college,
Well, I think a lot of people, a lot of us here, right? Everyone enjoyed dinosaurs, right? Like just the
Yeah.
fucking-
Yeah. Well, we'll go around the table and talk
Most
about.
of us.
We'll talk about what we think about dinosaurs, but let Spike explain his world.
Iterate.
Yeah.
So while I was
Collaborate,
in college
listen.
and
Synopsis.
doing physical anthropology and a little bit of paleontology, my archaeologist professor proved to us that dinosaurs weren't real because there's no way of proving that they actually were. All the
Simulation.
bones and skeletons that we have are mock-ups, casts of skeletons we couldn't identify and made into something that we thought might have existed then by testing the soil around it and getting an idea of a bulk shape of something.
That's an interesting theory.
But we never
pretty
found
solid.
a complete dinosaur skeleton. It is completely made up. They have no idea what it is, but it fits the idea of evolution that is already taught in school. And that's why dinosaurs are pushed as true history and science.
Well, I mean, hold on.
What about some of the
Let
dinosaurs,
me-
like I said?
No, hold on. I think the term that Spike's talking about, dinosaurs, is very vague. Because what falls into the dinosaur category?
That's another-
Are you
yeah,
talking
you-
about T-Rex? Are you talking about the Velociraptor? Are you talking about like older, like from the Ice Age? You got the saber-tooth. You got the Mastodon, whatever the heck lived. Like when you say the dinosaurs are
Megalodon, too.
fake, which dinosaurs are you talking about? Because it's a very vague. Because you could be dinosaurs, dragons.
There's a lot of things.
Dinosaur
we say
means
our
terrible
dinosaurs
lizard.
aren't really dinosaurs.
So when I mean dinosaurs, I mean reptilian dinosaurs. Giants.
Okay.
Giant lizards, you know.
Probably
Like everything on
Brachiosaurus.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay, that narrows it
All
down.
of them, or just Jurassic Park, not
majority of
Jurassic
them.
World?
Now, we do have some skeletons that are bird-like yet reptilian-like in appearance, but they're still just the size of chickens.
Yeah, they're no bigger
There's
than.
yeah. And mammoths and stuff like that, they're just,
Elephants.
you know what I mean?
They've been
Like,
around,
it's like
yeah.
that. I think we talked about it in another episode when we were talking about creationism versus evolution and that microevolution thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just an older version of what we have now. Kind of like, or a close relative of it, like bison and buffalo and.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So, Faded, what do you have to?
I'm just listening to Spike.
No.
A lot of fossils. Fossils don't take that long to make. It just depends on the.
Okay, what about the dinosaur? Like I showed you, the
Material.
dinosaur that looks like that one.
Like they're all just made
So
up.
you think that one's fake? The one they
Yeah,
found?
like everything on that page is fake. It's all just like.
Even though there's one like that, like
It's
stuck in the
made
mud.
up.
I think what Faded's problem is that we like. I get what he's trying to say. Like we don't think that all of it's fake. You know, I get the idea.
No,
like
I understand that most of it is because not even a lot of scientists even said like they have no idea. They're just guessing what it is. Because they found like a huge leg
Everything-
bone and they're like, oh, this might have belonged to this,
Yeah.
this, or this, or this.
But everything that is fiction was based on some form of truth. Everything. From movies to science to history to myths. It's all based on some form of truth.
Flat Earth.
And you look at the ball Earth. Yeah, exactly. So you look at dinosaurs from when you were a kid. I mean, I don't know. Who's the oldest? Well, I'm the oldest person here. Right?
I think I'm number 2.
Okay. So, I mean, think about it. What is do you remember seeing these dinosaurs? Is that what a velociraptor looked like when you were a kid?
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
Hmm?
I think that looks more like a velociraptor from when I was a kid.
Whatever they showed in Jurassic Park, that's what I believe.
You know what I mean? So it's like they can change it up all they want because it doesn't exist.
I
They
think
can make you
I think
believe
that
whatever
falls
they're
in the
told
line
to.
with the whole
Parents?
missing link. Missing Link.
Like
How
Peltdown Man and stuff.
Peltdown Man, Lucy.
Those are all fakes
Exactly.
too.
That's where I get where you're coming from. They find these fossils and they fit it into their story.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean the fossils are fake.
It's like the 8 million year old Casio digital watch.
A Pepsi can.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, so all the scientists that say the dinosaurs are like billions of years old, like
They're paid Masonic Jesuits.
They're paid off, AKA.
The Illuminati owns everything.
Oh, I kind of agree.
Except my phone.
No, they just use that to listen in.
Yeah, they just spy on us.
They like our episodes.
Did you guys hear about Disney buying Fox?
Yep.
All of Fox.
Spike was triggered
For like, what was it?
All except for their
$75
news
billion
outlet.
I think $15.4 billion or something like that.
54 billion.
It was like
54?
54 or 70 something.
It was billions of dollars that could have helped feed the poor, but whatever.
So Bitcoin's doing okay right now. Who here invests in Bitcoin?
Nope.
Really?
Not yet.
Nobody? I'm the only person?
I don't know how to use it.
We're not as rich as you.
I don't know how to use it.
I wasn't rich. I turned $14 into $1,200. I'm not rich.
I don't got 14.
He's a
magician.
How long did that take?
Let's stick to the topic.
I actually like kicked myself because
That took you like a year though, didn't it?
Yeah, I bought like an ounce of gold with what I had when it was like $300 a Bitcoin. So I cashed out because it started dropping and I got scared. I was like, crap. And then now I kick myself because it's like what, $15,000 a Bitcoin.
Just use the gold for smoothie.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the dinosaurs. When they find these so-called dinosaurs that have, or like, how do dinosaurs? Okay, well we'll go back to kind of a bear. The dinosaur story. Do you think that fits in the Bible? And do you think the Bible talks about dinosaurs?
No.
Bear, what do you think?
Yes.
Really?
Captain, what do you think?
Where?
Dragon.
Where?
First
Dragon.
opinions, chapter number.
No, you look up dragon. Dragon's mentioned quite a few times actually in the Bible.
So is unicorn.
And so is flying serpent.
So
is flying saucer.
Yeah, but a unicorn's a rhinoceros. We all...
I mean, a unicorn in
To an extent,
in terms
yeah, we
can
know
be
that
anything
unicorn-
with the like obviously you got to break down the word to what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Just because it means something today doesn't mean it means something back then.
When you translate something from
Mine's a
Hebrew
rhinoceros.
to English, you can't, like, modern translations base it
It's
on
just
the
like any
word,
other language.
but
Yeah,
it's
you
not.
can't. There's
You
no
have
direct.
to base it on the meaning of the word.
There's no direct
There's
translation.
no direct
No,
translation.
there's not.
I mean, what's it called? A unicorus, right?
Something like
That was a
that.
rhinoceros.
Unitree.
But that's why some
Change
people
it to
not attacking Spike, but
Some
some people just don't
Spike.
like. Oh well, dinosaurs never existed because they're not mentioned in the Bible, and the Bible's the infallible word of God, which we all believe. Well, not here necessarily, but
His favorite
What?
favorite verse is "You shall eat all the vegetables."
Wait, why did you guys point at me?
to throw you off.
Oh, because I like weed.
Anyways, drugs are bad. Okay, so
Smoke a
Yeah, I don't. Dragon's dragon, but the dragon's not a dinosaur.
Leviathan, Behemoth, and then they even mention in what is it, Job
Right.
or Isaiah?
But those aren't
but
dinosaurs.
Flying fire. It has to be.
There's so many creatures that God has created. Like,
Well, it has to be because I mean, we find fossils.
I mean, hold on, but like, what I think
because of the
yeah.
flood that wiped out all the big ones. I mean, but
the flood wiped out the big ones, so they were hanging out with.
No, I mean, like, I don't know.
Before the flood,
all the evil, wicked people. Yeah.
I mean, like, I believe some
the
validity.
giants were keeping them away.
It wasn't until after the flood that they were allowed to eat meat. Everybody was on a vegetable and vegan diet.
There's no proof of that.
There's no proof of that. Yeah.
I mean, there's no proof of that. It says right there.
It's a T-Rex.
Genesis,
Come on. Did you not watch the movie? He ate the guy.
Come on, you can't.
No, it doesn't.
The Bible, the Bible
me and
show
Spike
they're
agree.
like the T-Rex use their teeth to cut down grass. I was like, oh my god. They're telling the kids.
Get him.
That was Ken.
Yeah, it was getting ham.
Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree, and that which is fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
Yeah. So everybody.
So smoke smokes. That's his favorite verse.
All right, so we're gonna talk about that. I have a whole thing about that
Theory?
Yeah, and I just.
That's why it's a theory.
I told it. To
You only see the real reality when you're high. No. All right, but anyways, going back to that, I know they found a couple of fossils that have higher percentages of oxygen that show that the Earth was a different environment, obviously before. I mean, which of course you could tell just by.
Faded trigger.
Well, I don't know if you don't believe in the fossils. I mean, it's kind of hard to look back in time and say like a different environment, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, or
Well,
do you dismiss the tree fossils? Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Well, carbon dating is a joke. Ring dating
Carbon
is
dating
a joke. There's so many jokes of dating that's.
I agree, but like there's also proof showing that the Earth had different terrain. Like more than likely we had higher oxygen levels because if we look at it what it is today, we're slowly losing oxygen.
Yeah, because we're killing the environment.
So if you were to go back,
it's because we're an enclosed system,
and we're killing the environment with all our crap.
Yeah.
Literally, your cows
cows put off more methane gas than the cars do.
Yeah, but anyways,
we need to plant more trees and more pot, and then it'll clean the air, and we won't have to worry about it anymore.
Smokes like
if this whole valley, if every field in this valley would grow cannabis, dude, our air quality would be the best in the world
because we'd be too hot.
Hemp all day.
I'd be okay with it using it for hemp. What actually was intended to be like clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can use it for a million different uses: clothes, shoes, rubber, tires.
Tires.
Turn it into
burnout.
plastic.
Tires.
Imagine do a burnout and you get
actual burnout.
Actually, I've just seen a thing where they built a sports car's entire body out of hemp and weighed 100 pounds.
I've seen
and
that, dude.
it's stronger than strong.
Marijuana.
Stronger than steel. Stronger than fiberglass.
Must be
Faded. Right. Faded, where are you going, Faded? Gotta go. Defend your honor.
You gotta go. Yeah. Faded's gotta go in the spaceship.
All right, pause. All right, so we are back. Sorry for our second technical difficulties.
Faded got abducted by aliens.
Faded had a
into another planet where dinosaurs exist.
He got too faded and went to Mars.
He went to go dig up some fossils.
He's talking about getting probed again for science, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Oh, all right, so, well, I mean, you guys are the dragons and dinosaurs. So, where do you stand?
Yeah,
I kind of stand with
I think dragon's a different creature. I think
I think dinosaurs are what we're programmed to believe that are prehistoric creatures who lived millions of years ago.
Absolutely.
And I believe that that dragons could be the same thing, but obviously it's gonna be different with the time. But I don't know. I don't know what I would.
I mean, we could say that the T-Rex skull that we have is a dragon's head. You know what I mean, of some sort. And then we've made this because the scientists that didn't understand it, because of course science and the Bible don't really go together. So yeah,
science is
they're gonna make up some story and be like, oh yeah, this is how it is. Or I'm gonna take this and move it over here instead.
Even if you look
yeah, that looks good. Let me put this little bone here. Oh, that could be a tail.
Even when you look at the T-Rex's arms, those are arms based off of if you stretch them out. A bat.
Yeah.
A bat has the same exact little claws.
Yep.
T-Rex came from a bird.
A chicken to be exact.
Exactly.
So I mean, like
oversized chicken.
I agree with Spike in that area because when I was in for my freshman year in college, I had an anthropology teacher, and I used to talk to him about older, like Lucy, or where was the Piltdown Man, all these findings. He said like most of these findings that we find, what you see in the books is completely up to the artist.
Oh yeah,
they make them look any way they want. He's like, don't believe that. Believe what they find.
Lucy
first.
was built off
even
of
what they have found.
I compare that to the dinosaurs. We found this and we draw that. We have no idea.
He's artists for everything. He's artists for the planet Earth.
Even Lucy was found to be a hoax.
Yeah.
You know,
like
a
monkey or
all
something.
of it. Yeah, they were different bones from other primates.
Like a pig, I think it was a pig too, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I think Piltdown Man was completely built off of pig tooth.
Yeah.
What was that?
One pig tooth. They found a prehistoric pig tooth, and they were just like, this looks like a
man carrying a child.
Yeah, this looks like a man carrying a child. So they built this whole thing, small and short, obviously, whatever. saying that
it was all like
So,
shriveled
like,
up.
so what do you
shriveled
think?
up,
Like,
walk around.
I'll throw some Kent Hovind things at you that Bear might know. What about the findings of dinosaur tracks with human tracks? So-called dinosaur tracks. Do you think those are just big crocodiles walking around? I mean,
they found them in
Bear can elaborate more. 'cause
Colorado.
A lot of the scientists wouldn't acknowledge it because there are human footprints. They're like, no, this is not real.
They found them here in America.
Yeah.
Like dinosaur tracks and human tracks walking along with each other.
And scientists wouldn't. They'll just be like,
They wouldn't acknowledge it whatsoever because obviously it goes against evolutionary theory.
A lot of it goes
I
to the
think it's
Smithsonian.
possible. Well, we're not going to call them dinosaurs.
Yeah, I agree. I think
You know,
dinosaurs.
I don't think I can call them
humans with
dinosaurs.
really weird feet.
Well, no. There's
Dinosaur.
a lot of things that we
Hybrids.
don't know now,
Dynaman.
and a lot of things that we're lied to every day. So, what it actually was versus what you're told it is could be two totally different things.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I'm going
Exactly.
off. I'm going off of some hunches. I'm going off of faith, obviously, because that's what we have.
That's all we have.
Just
But
a giant human bone.
I would say to our listeners, obviously research our stuff is and try not to be biased whatsoever.
It's very hard.
Really, really, really seek the actual truth, not
Yeah.
necessarily to what goes to your
Test all
satisfaction.
things, what
Test
we all
things.
say, what you
But
do, everything.
but I would say study Marco Polo, the actual explorer, and when he went to China, he saw giant lizards, and he had saw giant lizards, and people were obligated the dragon feeders, the dragon caretakers. Why would you have those types of titles for people to just not,
They don't exist.
yeah, exactly. It's because, so if these things don't exist, allegedly, or whatever, then why would you have those types of job titles? And also in ancient China, they would use dragon bone, dragon blood, dragon saliva, dragon skin for all these types of different ingredients for healing processes, and stuff, whatever. So, and on the Chinese calendar, there's a dragon. Why would they make up this mythological creature if it never necessarily existed?
Mm-hmm.
I
So
agree.
that's my take on it. From what I've studied.
So, like,
Marco Polo, and then I think it's a book. I forget the author, but it's a book called Mystery in Makembo or something like that. I don't know. And then Google Makilium Bembe, the dinosaur in Africa that's actually still living. It's a
it's in the Congo, right?
Yeah, it's in the Congo. It's a alleged Plesiosaurus, a water dinosaur like a Loch Ness monster type thing,
Mm-hmm.
or
Or the one they had here in the native sphere, the one that would eat the human flesh, that
Dude.
loved human decay.
dude, ropins, have
Thunderbird
been,
or something like that, right?
Yeah, thunderbirds
Yeah.
and ropins, like flying pterodactyls or the
Mm-hmm.
smaller pterodactyls, have been seen here in Texas back in the '60s. So it's just like, dude, why would these things
Millions of years.
come about? Yeah, how these things survive for millions of years? I think it was in Ohio or, gosh, dude, I can't. Ohio or somewhere, but these miners, it had to be somewhere where mining is huge.
Cali.
But these miners, no, not Cali. Cali's gay. Anyways, these miners were
San Francisco.
were tearing apart a hole in the wall, and this big, I can't remember if it was like limestone or something. It was something strange. So they hit it with something, whatever, and then ended up falling down. A 7-foot pterodactyl had take 2 steps, spread its wings, made like a scream or a squelch or something like that, and then just fell over dead. That's what the miners say. I mean, you can only take so many people's words for whatever, but all these alleged theories, all these alleged stories and stuff like that have to have some truth to them. That's what Spike just said. Why would people make this elaborate thing, just to what's to gain from it, realistically? So Canada had its own Loch Ness monster. California had a Loch Ness monster. I believe New York, something washed up on New York, whatever. Japan had something, whatever, that some kind of sea monster and stuff like that.
Giant squids.
Giant squids, giant octopuses.
We found a mermaid in Myanmar when I was in the service. We went up there after that tsunami wiped out the islands, and we were finding all kinds of weird stuff. And we found a mermaid on the shore.
It was Poseidon.
Did it have red hair?
No, it wasn't like what people think a mermaid looked like. It was like...
Yeah, that looked creepy.
Yeah. It looked like Jar Jar Binks, but with like, instead of legs, it was like fins.
Ooh. So it could have been a mermaid or it could have been another fish that we never...
But it had arms.
Could have been a hybrid.
It almost looks like a deep sea creature.
Yeah, it had arms. Like it could grab and stuff.
Bams has one in his backyard. He just doesn't want to share.
Easy. So kind of going off like with dinosaurs. Do you believe in giants?
Yes.
Do you think they coexisted with dragons or dinosaurs?
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it in the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think we still find them? Skeletons?
I think they still exist.
It's possible.
The Earth is flat, and they're hiding land.
Okay, I don't agree with that. But I honestly believe there are some giants out there, and they're just very skilled at hiding. Dude, here in America, there's plenty of spots to hide, to where I mean, look at the doomsday prepper idiots, morons, or whatever. Dude, they drill this massive thing. I don't even know what the hell you call it. This massive structure inside of a hill. A satellite can go over that thing, whatever, and it'll look just like a hill. So I mean, if they're skilled enough, I honestly would think. So
you don't think colonies, or you just think
underground? No. I would say something, like underground. I don't know. But
it's kind of hard to
the
hide.
tallest.
Then again,
hold on, I don't want to misquote this. But
what
the
about
tallest I think is 36.
What about those new caves they just found with the giant crystals and stuff? It was a totally different environment down there. It had its own oxygen. It was a different heat. It was so hot they had to wear like flame retardant suits.
Oh yeah.
And there were those giant 10, 12 foot wide crystals coming up out of the ground, 30, 40 feet long. Yeah. And there's guys, you could walk on them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It wouldn't fit in this. Yeah, here, I'll look it up real quick.
Wouldn't fit in his ring?
While Spike's looking that up, present day approximate height is considered tall is around 6 foot. Now, Maximus Thrax, the Caesar of Rome, in 235 to 238 AD was 8'6".
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, Shaquille O'Neal would slap the crap out of Shaquille O'Neal. Goliath was approximately mentioned in the Bible in 1 Samuel 17:4, and he lived approximately 1010 BC. He was approximately 12 foot, is what the Bible describes him as. And then in southeast Turkey in the late 1950s, a 15-foot skeleton was found. In Og, the king of Bashan, mentioned in Deuteronomy 3:11, which his bed was described 7 feet width.
Width?
7 foot width. You gotta be a big dude to. He was approximately 18 feet tall. Jesus. On the cubits that was described. And then in 1577 AD, under an overturned oak tree in the canton of Lucerne, I don't know I can't read. Anyways, he was 19 foot 6 feet tall. And then in 1456, a skeleton was found in France, 23 feet tall. 1613 AD, also in France, 25 feet, 0.6 inches tall. So
my question is, if you guys think they're still around today, where do they fit in the biblical flood? If I'm thinking they're a different breed of humans, so therefore somebody on the Noah's Ark family had to have that trait.
The possible genetics still in.
Now,
but if that's the case, we would all have it.
Like a Hebrew.
Not necessarily, because the offspring of Canaan and the offspring of the actual, then we would all be Jewish, which we're not.
Right.
Obviously, we would have. Yes, I'm definitely sure about
we're
that.
just celebrating Hanukkah.
Hey,
it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
It's the fourth night.
But then the I'm sorry, and then the last skeleton, approximate age 650 BC to 640 AD. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Uncovered two of these size. An earthquake in Cimarronian Bucyrus, 36 feet tall. If these individuals were walking around today, you would definitely notice.
See them.
Is it possible? Yeah, I don't know.
So, but like, where do you guys? Where would they fit in the biblical stories? The flood?
I just told you.
Goliath. That was the
one. King Og was after the flood, and so was Goliath because David. Well, in 1 Samuel, whatever, David was the one that killed Goliath.
So what would have happened to these people? I mean, if
They
you're
were
if you're
just-
13 feet tall, and you're a guy, the chances of you breeding with somebody that's not that tall is very low. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but when they
and
were
if you
going
have
to,
another woman that's around the same height where you actually interbreed with, you would therefore have more offspring, which would end up being, a family.
Well, there's
city,
there's not only
blah,
giant
blah, blah,
women,
blah.
or excuse me, there's not only giant men, there was giant women. Obviously, there had to be.
There had to be, yeah.
There had to be, whatever,
Okay, giants in the Bible. 11 verses that have giants in the Bible.
Are you sure about that?
Genesis 6:4.
Genesis was probably the only
There
one.
were giants in
No,
the
no.
earth in those days.
Just mention some.
And also after that, when the sons of God came into them, the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and became mighty men of old men of renown. Numbers 13:33. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So basically, they were so big, we looked like grasshoppers to them.
So, so how do they fit in the flood? That's what I don't get. Was there
a
another boat?
lot of
Did
them
they just swim?
A lot of them got wiped out by the flood. But
Yeah, I'm gonna imagine. Yeah.
Somehow, dude, in the genetics.
Well,
I
from
don't know.
Genesis 6:4, it states that they mixed with
The men.
men,
Mm-hmm.
women of men, the daughters of men, bare children. So that was in Genesis 6:4. From Genesis 6:4 to the time of the flood was many, many years. So that bloodline had already started.
Safe to say, more likely, yeah.
Right.
Plus, we don't know how tall Noah's sons were.
We don't know how big Noah was. But we know
Well,
he
well-
lived, 900 and...
He was a drunk.
No, he lived. Noah lived to be 600 and something. But we do know how tall Noah was because his cubit is only 18 inches.
Oh, okay.
I'm 5'9", so it's like my cubit's approximately 18 inches. So he was around my height ish.
Yeah.
But it never describes his sons, and they helped him build the boat.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
small
it took
arms.
400 years, but they helped him build the boat. So I mean, it's just like, hey, go get that tree. Like, yeah, sure. Just rip out a big ass redwood, like nothing, like a toothpick. So I think that's why we find giant bones. Also, it could have been right there in those genetics, and then it been spread out.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to believe that.
Nah, it's food for thought, bro.
It is.
That's all
It
I'm
has
saying.
to be because we don't know. I mean,
I wasn't there.
Apparently, they were around.
You said
I mean, we
giant.
find
Bams was there because he found a mermaid.
You saying giants intertwined with normal humans?
That's
Yes.
what I'm
In
having a
Genesis.
problem
And you're
with.
saying the giant men intertwined with the human women?
Yes.
We don't even know how tall Adam was.
What? You
Well,
said
well,
they're how big?
Well, no,
We don't
Come
know
on,
how
man.
tall Adam was. We
You
don't
tell
know
me-
how tall Eve was.
You tell me those little women took a big old,
that's
Why are you
what
shaking
I have
your
a
fist
problem
at me?
with.
I don't think it would fit.
It's like
Well,
a.
we don't know what size it was.
It's like a Great Dane and a.
You know what I
Great
mean?
Dane and a
if you're
Chihuahua.
that big,
There's gonna be some
Okay,
mechanical issue.
the reason why this
50
part of the
feet tall?
table is laughing, the reason why this part of the table is laughing, because we've seen some cocks.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, okay, listeners, but Navy, Air Force, and Army, you've seen plenty of schlongs in basic
Smokes
training.
alike. What did I
basic
just
training in
But
boot
you're
camp,
telling
man.
me a 50-foot tall guy
Dude, I'm telling
with
you,
a grasshopper woman.
I'm
You tell me. I'm pretty sure his thing is gonna smash her.
I mean, no. I mean, like, we don't know what the average height was back then. 13 feet might be what 6 foot is today. compared to average woman, which is like 5'6" or 5'4",
So
or 5'5".
we're all getting more midget.
That's why yeah, we are shrinking.
We're shrinking, but at the same time, due to obviously
It's malnutrition.
Yeah, due to malnutrition and due to industrial civilizations, United States average height is above average because of that.
I hate having good peripheral vision. I'm just saying that. Never stared at him, but I hate having good peripheral vision. But there's a guy well over 6 foot. I don't want to embarrass the dude, but he was about 6'6", and I outweighed him. I'm just throwing it out there. So
and
it doesn't matter how tall you are.
That's true.
It doesn't matter how tall you are. Just throwing it out there.
It was cold.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It was a hot day, whatever.
All right, so.
And he was black, but whatever.
So you guys.
All right, man. Stop bragging, okay? Hey.
So you guys think that the genetic line was already embedded into the whole Noah's flood,
Okay.
etc.
Wickedness of man, Genesis 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. And they took them wives, all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them,
because he's talking.
the same became mighty men, which were of old men renowned. So, it doesn't necessarily say that those giants that were in the earth those days slept with the women. It says that the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, not necessarily the giants.
Having trouble walking there? Yeah. You outbalanced or
So
what?
what they're saying is, at the same time that the sons of God were on the earth, there were also giants on the earth.
For all our lady listeners, Bear is single. He has a giant.
I never said. It's cold right now. Anyways, but I never said anything of that sort.
All our lady listeners, Bear is single.
You shut that whore mouth of yours. Oh, man. Anyways, getting back, we're talking Bible, by the way, right now. just start out there.
So you think...
Anyways... I'm guessing that one's going on Instagram
break
too,
the
huh?
table, man.
Anywho, where are we on time?
An hour and 7.
Okay,
Or
we got to wrap
bonus
it up.
time.
So this is part 1. Me and Spike have elaborated as much as possible.
So we touched AI, then we touched dinosaurs, and now we're on to giants.
Now you get giants. Giants. Which I have a really good book on it too.
Yeah, I like the topic, the idea, because I think we find these skeletons, but yet they're not. We'll look at Lucy, we'll look at Piltdown Man instead of these giants, and the question is why.
I'd say check out the Ica stones also. From Ica, Peru, the Ica Indians, where they carved all kinds of people didn't have internet. A lot of people didn't even have paper, way back when. So they would carve on stones. They would carve on tablets. They would carve on walls and all this other things, whatever. So a person to be as tall as a dinosaur, dude, he had to be
pretty big.
Yeah, he had to be pretty big, and that's what they were describing. Another one's describing amputation. Another one's describing brain surgery. Another guy is riding a dinosaur. The other guy's killing a dinosaur or whatever. And they had to be dinosaurs.
Yeah, I got aliens in there too, though.
Spaceships.
I don't know.
I don't know. It could be whatever.
But the Ica stones are a very interesting read, a very interesting thing to look up and stuff like that, whatever, especially from Peru. And the other interesting thing is Spike was saying, well, we don't know what the dinosaurs looked like or anything, which I agree. We don't necessarily know what they look like. But on the Ica stones, which is really weird, you see these dinosaurs, they're like scales and all this other crap, whatever. We're putting in a book right now, by the way. You're going to have to see the behind the scenes. But they have these scales and stuff, whatever. But on the ecostones, they had these weird swirls. It almost looked like a cinnarroll or a cinnabon, kind of thing, whatever, all over the skin. And that's why evolution is just like, well, they're just stupid because they don't know what it is, yada, yada.
They don't know what they saw.
And then
they weren't there.
Years later, they found fossilized dinosaur skin. And guess what had on it? Swirls.
Same patterns. Yeah,
Swirls.
same patterns. I mean,
so it's just like, how would these people know, being dead for over 700 years, know what dinosaurs look like, especially their skin, that small a detail? So if men and dinosaurs never existed with each other, then how all these things, how do these things exist? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I'm kind of with Spike with dinosaurs not necessarily being real, but I think that they weren't dinosaurs. I think they were just obviously a different type of creature. I think dinosaur just labels, anything before or anything we want to call millions and millions of years old, just so it could fit into that certain theory. So I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, to comment on that, the actual word dinosaur wasn't invented until 1861, if I'm not correct, and that's when Darwin's
theory of evolution.
Yeah, it was getting very, very popular. That's when the evolutionary theory was getting real popular and supposedly scientifically accurate. It's all deception. But it's all it's all deception. It's
Look
all
how
lies.
quickly everything's extincting too. I mean, there's a lot of species going out of.
I mean, that's just the cycle of the world. I mean,
even if you look at
things go and come.
Even if you look into a dictionary from the 1500s and look at dragon, it says very rare. In the description, it says very rare. Like, why would someone describe something like that? It's food for thought. Obviously, we want to know what you think. We're going to close the episode. Unfortunately, we're so glad that Clapton Kirk and Smoke got to participate in this one, even though they're very quiet. But it's perfectly fine.
They're quietest.
We feel the love in the room, anyways.
Start yelling.
And that's
Start talking. Why are you being shy?
You're gonna get the cops calling us again.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I forgot. Yeah.
Catch us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Podcast Addict, iTunes. What else are we on, fellas? Facebook.
That's it.
Satellite imagery. Whatever.
The deep web.
The deep, the deep, not dark.
Pornhub.com.
Perfectly fine. We appreciate all you guys' support, listeners, all the other jazz. This is part 1, introduction kind of thing. We might knock out another episode. We don't really
questions.
know. I got to wake up early too. Tomorrow, unfortunately, we got a big day ahead of us. So thank you for everything, and
don't be retarded.
Yeah, don't be retarded.
Say Sofa King. Talking about
study.
Fuck Sofa King.